Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I guess today I just wanted to inform you all that I have been working on my book, Project Odo, and it's been taking a back seat for way too long. Like, I don't even know what was wrong with me, why I didn't find inspiration to write. So like, now that I have inspiration to write, I've been writing since last week, and I'm almost at 9,000 words, and I am so happy. So I'm gonna keep continue doing what I have to do as far as my writing is concerned, like trying to find more motivation to write, and even when I don't feel like writing, to just write whatever is coming out of my mind. So I'm gonna try my hardest to do just that, is to write, because it's something that I find joy in and pleasure in. Also, on Saturday, when was it? Saturday, March 8th, I went to this aspiring authors event in the Bronx, and it was really nice. Like, I saw people of color who are authors, who are traditionally published. There was one that was self-published, which was nice to see that. I wish I could have learned more about self-publishing, but by the time that I finished my headshots, because they offered free headshots, um, the seminar or the section of the self-publishing um, course was done. So I had to like go through to the other ones that they were doing. But it was nice. Like, they talked about creating your own author brand, and also they talked about like um, finding your own community as an author. And I feel like I should attend more events like this so I can like be more inspired and encouraged by people who are interested in doing the same thing as me, which is writing. So like, yeah, it's been a journey of me being discouraged and finding my courage again to write. And I hope that I'm able to do exactly what I'm set out to do, because it's not really easy to write and to think that people don't want to read your work. But I got some encouragement today. One of my coworkers, she is reading my book, and she told me that she likes it. She's on chapter 3 and she likes it. And I told her to give me her honest reaction of chapter 7, because chapter 7 is when Afua goes through a lot in that chapter. And yeah. So also my friend, Mona, shout out to you. She told me that she also is reading my book, and that she likes that I incorporated African names inside the book. Um, Afua's best friend, which is Veronica Diallo, um, my friend told me that the French version of her name, of Veronica Diallo's last name, is her married name. So that was so cool to find that fact out. So I'm gonna continue to write and be more encouraged, and to stop that negative thought, self-talk that I've been doing for these past few weeks. But yeah, I'm just so happy. So I hope to update you all on my writing in this vlog, and also show you about, I took videos of the aspiring authors event, so hopefully I can also put this at the end of the video. So yay. So everyone, look at what I've been able to work on. I've been working on Project Odo, and here's the first page of the book, and hopefully you like it. I'm not gonna show you the rest of it, because that's for people who's gonna actually read the book. But I hope that you like this little snippet of the book. It's about heartbreak. So if you like books about heartbreak and then falling in love again, then this book is for you. So hopefully I'll be able to publish it sometime next year in 2026. God willing that we're still alive by that time and that I'm able to still produce books and write. So yeah, hopefully like everything goes out to comes to pass, I mean.
You have to bring more than your talent to a book project. However, whatever that project is, whether it is a novel, fiction, nonfiction, coffee table book, you have to bring more than just your talent to that project. And I think a lot of writers today, whether you are young or older, don't sort of consume how much of your time has to be spent outside of writing. What you want to do, you just want to write and you just want to be published. But there's so much more now to getting to that place than it used to be.
I agree with that. One of the many things that, let me go back on that. I do consultations with authors all the time, and they come to me, and the first thing I ask them is, what is your goal with your book? Where do you want to see your book in this world? Is it you want to be on these New York Times bestseller? Do you want to be invited into book fairs? Do you want to be sitting on panels? Do you want your book to be chosen for book clubs? Do you want universities to pick it up? Or do you just want your friends and family to read it? And this is just a personal goal of yours to see something printed, physical in your hand, that you could say, I accomplished this. Because those are two very different things, okay? And like Randy was saying, publishing has changed drastically. Publishers acquire your book, but the book, after your book is published, it is your responsibility to get that book sold in the hands of consumers, okay? For you to make connections through social media, with bookstores, with libraries, independent bookstores, with newspapers, with book clubs. And all of that can be done through social media and to research. I tell folks all the time, 6 months before your book comes out, sit down and dedicate it to figuring out, to building your mail list. Who are the people who should be finding out about your book? Who's your audience? Where do you want your book to be? Whose hands? Is it academia? Is it, a specific demographic? Who is it? You need to understand who your readers are. And balloons and everything to reveal their book covers. That brings attention to your book, right? Show people you working with your editor. Take pictures of your manuscript. When you get pre-orders, show that. Walk people through the process. Everyone wants to see that. People get really involved with that. And when your book comes out, you see that whole baby part of you promoting it every month. You might be ignoring it for the first 4 months, but at some point you're gonna be, what is this baby about? Let me just go buy it so I can see, so I can stop seeing this on my timeline. And you trust me, I've fallen for that. Okay? And you end up purchasing the book.
I agree with that, and I want to add to the social media point that you made earlier, because there is someone in here who heard that and they went, "Yeah, I'm not doing it," and that's okay. That's okay, because there is a distinct difference between social media community and offline community. I'll give you an example. When I back in the day, I used to work at a school in Harlem, and there was a woman there named Miss Judy. And Miss Judy did not have social media, but everybody in that community loved Miss Judy. Whenever somebody had a birthday, Miss Judy would bring in pound cake. And all the kids, no matter how old you were, old, young, whoever, everybody loved Miss Judy, parents. And whenever Miss Judy had a birthday, the presents in the building would just pile up at the front desk, because that's how much everybody loved Miss Judy. And I was working in fiction at the time at Slice, and I told myself, if Miss Judy ever published a book, it's a New York Times bestseller, because she's got community. she pours into the community, and that community pours into her. So like there are going to be people in here who go, yeah, I'm not doing social media, I'm not with it. That's okay. But you have community somewhere. Somebody probably cook on the sidewalk and give food out to folks in the down the street, or you probably go to church or something. There's community that you don't even identify as book readers, and those are the people who are going to support you. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of the work that we're doing isn't just people who read books, but it's getting books in the hands of people who didn't know that they would actually enjoy doing that act. So, yeah.
I've seen churches doing great things.
Churches do amazing things. Thank you. Thank you for that too, Randy, because I do think it's important to not conflate, right? Because of the fact that everything that has been said has been valid. And also, social media can be really toxic, right? And you don't want to be, like, that can mess up your creative flow, your mental health, all that stuff. If it is not for you, do not do what is not for you. Please do not. If you love being on the gram, if you love the good lighting, the shots, do it. If you love blue, like I'm a blue sky girly because I like kind of like the immediacy of conversations with people. And so I was very good on Twitter, and then Blue Sky came, and I navigated right to that because I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to go here because this is what I like, and it doesn't have any ads right now. So I see what I want to see. But it's like I'm not doing TikTok because TikTok ain't for me. And I've seen writers who've been in this business 30 years struggling because they think they need to be on TikTok.
On every platform.
Yeah, and you don't. You do not. That's not what a publisher will add. They're like, are you on socials? No. Okay, so then what are the other ways you build community, to the Miss Judy analogy, right?
Own platform say, okay, well, I should take advantage of that professional organization I'm in, or I should reach out to my alumni or blah, blah, whatever it is, or make funny TikToks about weird history or whatever it is. And that's the kind of advice I give to people who come to me and who might have a good idea for a book, but don't have the platform for nonfiction yet. And I say you have to go out there and find people you want to talk to. Kevin, have you had any, when you go to publicize your novels, and using the platform you had, have you found things that felt like they worked or didn't work, or you didn't want to do or you didn't want to do?
I guess that's the hard thing. It's like when I think about like the books I've written, like I try to put all of this stuff that we're talking about like outside of it. Like all I want to do is like I have a firm idea of what I want to write, and I want to make the best version of that possible. Like nothing, I try to like nothing interfere with that, which is like, are certain people gonna like it? Is the market gonna like it? Are publishers gonna like it? Like remove all that stuff. So it's kind of funny, like you finish the book, you're getting ready for it to come out, and then like, and maybe it's just like not a great position to put yourself in, but I'm always doing this. I'm doing it the second time, where I'm like, oh, okay, like now I'm letting all the people in to like read the book and like talk about it in the world. So it's kind of interesting, but I also like that conflict on some level. I will say that like, well, I'm curious how you feel about this. When it comes time to like promote your book in the world, publishers like don't have a ton of creative ideas. They don't have a lot of like good ideas, honestly. So what I've just been doing for promoting this book, which comes out in a month. So we'll see if any of this works. But no, I just decided to pick the shots where like the things are exciting to me. Like for example, like your publisher will ask you to like write essays for certain outlets. My new book.
Shy, or there are different ways to do that for your personal comfort. But if you don't want to talk about your book, who will? You're the best advocate for it, and there is a little bit of salesy stuff in it because you're trying to sell a product, which is your book, which is a retail product, like cookies on the shelf or socks or T-shirts or anything like that, because it's a retail industry, and so you have to give a value proposition to your readers to say, you're going to get this out of my book. I promised to do this, or I tried to do that. Won't you come with me to find out if I did it? And so there isn't like a done point, and that it can feel very overwhelming, but there's also just an open runway to try different stuff to see what you like. And I want to really hit that point hard to demystify this. You got to do all these things and you do it once and you're done with it and you get over with it. No, it's an ongoing conversation you have with this community that you build, so that they will want to read your next book, and you don't even know what that is yet, and that community can tell you what that is, through the conversations you have. So I agree with that. But do we have any ideas of how we think this is going to change as the internet is changing?
Well, I'll say one thing about the change of things, which is because this has now been a thing for a while, and social media has been with us for a while, and there have been so many different examples of how people use it, is there is some fatigue, meaning that things that used to work on a kind of direct basis of like you have a big social following and that translated, aren't necessarily translating in the way they did before because there's a great deal of saturation in what people are putting out there. And so this has become a thing that we talk about a lot at work, which is, when you get a project in, agents will often give you the sort of social stats of everything and say, this is the platform this person.
Like they can do all this work, they have a body
Yes.
of work, yeah.
That absolutely, and I think, like, for example, if that's the category of the book and the message is strong, then, for example, is it, going to various groups that meet to discuss that as a topic and selling books that kind of go where the people are, meeting them where they are, and doing that on a kind of ad hoc basis, because we will see, like, some authors, like, there have been authors who, they print a certain number of copies of their books and they kind of go on the road, like, they go and they speak to various groups. And I remember, like, years ago, we signed an author because he had sold about 2,000 copies of a book kind of doing that, going to community centers, and that was, in a larger scale of a publisher, that can sometimes be on the quote-unquote lower end of things, but if you're able to move a certain number of books like that, then that's very appealing to an agent and then by extension a publisher. So I would encourage you to look at advocacy groups or other community groups that are meeting about that topic where that people will talk about it, share it, and it kind of spreads from there.
All of us wishing and praying for a moment to take a deep breath and not be judged. All of us hoping for true acceptance and peace as we climbed out the tattered shadows of societal standards and self-doubt. My fight for justice work utilizes the literary landscape as a vehicle for evolution because through writing, I was revolutionized. I began to see myself clearly, and that silenced the noise around me, about me, as I figured out who I wanted to be. The obstacles behind me are the reason I am here today. It brings me to you with a chest full of knowing, clear in my intention. Please use this as a reminder of a moment, this mantra that I'm going to share. And I hope this next 7 words remain with you always. We are enough and we belong here. Say it.
We are enough and we belong here.
Hopefully the more you say this, the more you will remember it. Let it drape your shoulders when the cold eyes loosens the truth from your bones. We are enough and we belong here. I want you to resist the urge to carry the heavy guilt of what is not yours, rather than fighting against the weight on your back. Pool your resources. Work with your comrades. Find what quickens your blood, what illuminates your dreams, and enjoy the task of unearthing yourself, whole and still loved, brilliant and still complex, funny and still fly. If you don't remind yourself of all your glory, the grief can be a forever well. It will make you doubt your brilliance and ability. It will create a rupture between what you deserve and what you accept. Repeat after me. We are enough.
We are enough
And we belong here.
and we belong here.
I had to learn the importance of repetition and freeze until it becomes memory. I am enough. I work hard. I am a leader. I am a visionary. I have sacrificed my own comfort for the ease of my community. And I move like this because I am interested in the liberation of all people. So we lift the broken with our light. We praise their names and the hands that write. Praise the mouth that speaks. Praise the truth that soars from the spine of the most nimble creatures. Praise us, preachers, in our immodest fragility. Praise the humility, the learned spaces, the space that dissolves and bursts the wind. Praise the wind and the storms that change course. Praise the creatures born and reborn. Praise the boom bap, split silence, shattered. Praise the fragmented bodies and heavy breathing like rain. Praise the rain, feeding our hearts and homes and leaves. Praise the green. Praise the black. Praise the bullet breaking brown flesh like fruit.
praise the fruit, praise the stomachs and minds unfed, praise the hungry, praise the God in everything, praise yourself, your own flesh. Sin we, boundless, overweight, glorious and alive, praise the life, praise the durable love, praise our sovereign journey, praise the destruction, how it reminds us that ribs heal and purple lips return perfect and point towards the sun. Praise the burial, praise the new day, praise the healing, praise, praise, praise the repetition, praise the repetition, praise the times it will take us to remember that we are beautiful and worth the stretched breath of the unimagined and unseen. Praise the nightmares we've endured, the salt we've tasted in our release. Praise the divine living and our voices reaching towards the sky, singing our own names. To revel in the rebellion of a silent tongue. Every day we lean forward into the light of our brightest designs and cherish the sun. Praise our hands and throats. Each incantation, a jubilee of a people dreaming wildly, despite the dirt beneath our feet or the wind pushing against our greatest efforts. Soil creates things. Art births change. This is the honey, and doesn't it taste like a promise? Where your heart is an accordion, and our laughter is a soundtrack. Friend, dance to this good song. Look how it holds our names. Each bone of our flesh homes sing welcome. Oh, look at the gods dancing as the rain rains against a steely skyline, where grandparents sit on the porch and nod at the spectacle in awe of the perfection on their grandchildren's faces. Each small discovery unearthed in its own outpour. Tomorrow, our daughters will travel the world with each poem, and our sons will design cities against the backdrop of living museums. Yes, our children will spin chalk until each equation bursts a familial tree, rooted in miraculous possibilities and alive. As poets, we are makers of narrative, carriers of truth, and seers of the unknown. But we are also business people, educators, and cultural creators. The poetry industry is not about selling out. It's about standing on business, owning our craft, and ensuring our voices are heard, respected, and compensated. I hope you have some actionable tools, and most importantly, you are reminded that poetry and prosperity are not mutually exclusive. The world needs your words now, so let's ensure they find a way to the people who need them most. Thank you.